Welcome to the Onstage Podcast, where we deep dive into the power of music and entertainment. Welcome, everyone, to another podcast. Join us as we delve into the musical world of Sarah Smith, a Canadian singer-songwriter whose roots, rock style, and heartfelt lyrics have captivated audiences across North America and Europe. With a career spanning over a decade, Sarah's journey from the front woman of the Joys, we'll talk about that group, to a solo powerhouse has been marked by her passionate performances and deeply personal songwriting. The amazing finger-snapping songs such as Shine Bright, I Need to Know, Your Name, God, Stronger Now, Angels and Anchors, and her 2024 hit that just came out, Runaway. Also, the song You Don't Get My Love, Into the Light, The Stars, and Undertow. We are so happy to have Sarah here. Sarah, how are you? Pleased to meet you. Nice that you're on our platform and opportunity to interview you.
Thank you, Chris. That was quite the introduction. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I heard so much about you, heard your music, and love it so much. As before I forget, everyone, all her music will be linked down below. Her Spotify, everything you need to enjoy and to promote her music. And I think she's fabulous. Sarah, can you share with the audience what life was like growing up and why you chose music as your path?
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in a Christian home. My mom enjoyed going to church every Sunday, and my dad was a farmer / he worked at the university as a vet assistant as well. So we grew up with a lot of chores, a lot of family time, a lot of church community gatherings. My mom always liked to have neighbors over, and we would do things like help each other pick stones in the fields and bale hay and straw, and we would help out the neighbors while they were doing their thing. If somebody had something happen at their house, like a fire or some sort of death in the family, we would always gather and help. And my mom and my dad were a big part of this community living on a farm. And my dad always played, country guitar. Like he loved Johnny Cash and John Denver, and he just loved the old time country, like Willie Nelson. And what was the band that played Jeremiah was a bullfrog? What was that band?
Three Dog Night.
Yeah, Three Dog Night. So, he was a really great country guitar player. And then my mom, on the other hand, she was like trained in opera. So she was an opera singer, and she would sing these operatic, beautiful songs in church. And and so she was a church choir leader in church, and she got me singing solos from the ripe young age of 5. So I was singing solos from 5 years on in church. And I guess how the music really happened was just the quick version of it was, I started by playing piano. I loved piano. It was an amazing instrument, but I would start going off the notes and make up all my own songs. And so the piano teacher said, no more lessons for Sarah. So then I moved to drums, and I learned how to play the drums, and I played drums in high school and all through high school. And then eventually I got given a guitar, and I learned how to write music and write my feelings into guitar. And that's how I become a songwriter.
Wow, that's a great story. It looks like you had a good relationship with your parents.
Yes, I did. I always have. I mean, our life wasn't perfect. I don't think anybody's life is perfect, but my dad is a real sensitive soul. He's still alive, as is my mom. They're getting older, but they taught me simple things in life, which were, connectedness, love each other, forgive each other, help each other. And, just my mom and dad always let me be me. They let me soar. They let me fall. They let me fail. They still supported and loved me through my dark times, and they support and love me the exact same through my light.
Wow, yeah. But okay, so if your mom was an opera singer, why didn't you pursue that?
It was boring.
I love it. I love opera.
I do too now, but when I was a kid, I didn't want to be like, oh, I can't even do it.
Oh,
You know, there you go.
Nessun Dorma.
Yeah, there you go.
I love it.
So I liked musicals. My mom would take me all the time to see
Mhm.
musicals like Phantom of the Opera and Les Mis and Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat
Oh
and
yeah.
Showboat. And, she would take me to all these beautiful musicals and I loved those. They used to make me cry. They just touched my soul. But I just found myself really attracted to my message being just from my heart. So songwriting came really easy to me. And then when my first time my heart got broken, a lot of songs came out of that.
Yeah, I also liked musicals. I like watching the movies like Mary Poppins and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. My brother and I used to sing those on the living room carpet and just loved it. Jesus Christ Superstar. I love singing all the songs. But it never occurred in my mind thinking, why don't I pursue music? I went in a totally different direction. Now it's only my last 10, 12 years that I've been singing and I'm a tenor, a vocalist. I love it. So never look back on that. Doesn't matter how old you are. But
Amazing.
have you ever figured out what your vocal range is?
Not really. I mean, whenever I sing, it just comes out. Like I can just aim for a note and pretty much get it. And when I go low, I just go low. And I don't know. I just have always sort of just, if I can think it, I can do it. So I would think about the note and I would just go for it and usually get it. But there was a time when I first started playing. I was in a band called Pop Joy.
Yeah.
This was before the Joys. And at the time, the bar circuit was super busy. You could be playing cover songs 7 days a week and a matinee on Sunday. And at the time, the bars were also smoking bars. So we were a very active band, jumping up and down, sweating, breathing in all this smoke. And I would just be singing my heart out at all these shows, 3, 4 sets a day. And eventually I just lost my voice
Oh no.
and I was scared. Yeah, it was the scariest thing ever. I went to a throat and nose doctor and they stuck this thing down my throat and it was a camera and it was very uncomfortable. But I found out that I had little tiny nodes,
Hmm.
nothing too serious. But he said, you got to rest. And I said, how am I supposed to rest? Like, this is my life.
Wow.
So instead, I didn't listen to the doctor. I said, no, I'm going to do something else. So I went to a vocal coach. Have you ever heard of the band Helix?
I don't think so. No. Where are they
Helix is
from?
a Canadian.
Okay.
They're Canadian. They're Canadian legendary band from like the hair band days. They had a song called "Rock You." Give me an R, O, C, K. What you gonna do? Rock. How you gonna do it? Rock you.
I love it. I love
And
it. Yeah.
it was awesome. So the singer of that band lived in London, Ontario, the same town I lived in, and he was doing this bel canto teaching.
Mm.
And because I lost my voice, I didn't want to listen to the doctor. I went to Brian. I said, show me how to sing.
Ooh.
And Brian worked with me for a couple months and he really truly taught me how to sing. And what he taught me was, you know, it was just not making any sense, to be honest. It was a lot of crazy things about aiming your notes and tapping
Oh yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
all this weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this guy's on crack. But anyway, I just kept listening. And then eventually something clicked. And I said, holy crap, I get it. I get how the escalator of the tongue works. And I get how the breathing works. And I get how the resonance works on the sinuses. And I totally just got it. And after that, since then, I very rarely lose my voice, graciously, very grateful for that. And I think it's due to his teaching.
Wow, that must have been really like horrible for you not being able to sing, and you love it so much.
Yeah. I just kept singing though, so it was pretty disgusting. People would come out to my shows and I'd be like, yeah, just like just all heart, no voice left. I couldn't stop. I was so passionate about playing music and singing my heart out and just couldn't stop.
That's interesting. When you whoa like this, I'm thinking of Brad Roberts, the lead singer of Crash Test Dummies. I never heard his voice. You're like, oh, very low, like baritone. Yeah, yeah. But yes, that's right. And I believe that
Yeah.
the lowest voice, like a lowest baritone and bass for a woman would be the contralto, I think, is like lower. So it's like, and there's a guy who can sing all 7 octaves from low to C7. And I'm like, whoa. And
Wow.
and when the guy speaks his normal voice, it's like very low, like this. Hi, I want to tell you that I can sing all 7 octaves. And I'm thinking, what the?
Whoa.
And then you go, oh, there's a C1, C2, C3, C, all the way up to C's. And higher than what I can do, higher than the Bee Gees will make the Bee Gees jealous. I just, oh my goodness, you're making me jealous now. Now you just broke the screen of my laptop. Thank you. Um, Sarah, so did the move from Ontario to British Columbia, did that have influence your music at all?
You know, I did not move out here to do anything musically. To be honest, I moved out here because I had nothing left in music. The pandemic had hit, all our gigs were gone, and I thought,
Hmm.
man, I don't know what to do, but I love BC, so I'm going to move out to BC and see what happens. And while I was here, I had humbled myself, and I said, I'm just going to humble myself and become a servant. And I decided to help run an Airbnb, and I
Hmm.
became a cleaner. And
Wow.
so for 6 hours a day, I cleaned this Airbnb, pandemic COVID cleaning, you know what I mean? Like
Wow.
top to bottom. And, but then at night, I just couldn't stop wanting to play music. I started writing for other people, and I started recording these songs, and people started sending me their song ideas, and I started writing songs for them. And eventually I started sort of a business of me writing songs using people's life experiences or their
Mhm.
poems or their lyrics. And before I knew it, I've written hundreds of these co-written songs now, and made a little bit of a living off of it. So it influenced me to collaborate for sure. And now that I'm here in my forever home, and I'm not a cleaner anymore, I'm back to playing music and cleaning too. I'm a cleaner too. Now that I'm doing both, I am realizing that being in nature and in this private, remote, quiet island, it has given me time to pause and to take in nature. And I think that anytime a human pauses, it allows us to be open to creativity.
Yeah, is it so? It is true. You're at Pender Island right now.
Yeah, that's
Wow,
right.
wow. I do my research, lady.
Yeah, I
But
live here, and it's beautiful.
yeah, well, what about the collaborative sessions you've had with other musicians since moving out west? Like, what? Who did you collaborate with? Like Gordon Lightfoot or something like that, or when he was around? Who were?
Well, no, Gordon's passed, but I mean, I haven't collaborated personally with many people that you would know their names. They're just, you know, friends or fans of music, and they've reached out to me through their friends or family or fans, and it's just your regular Joes that have these hidden little talents like poetry or lyrics or a life experience, something that they've gone through that they need to share with the world. And how do you share with the world better than a song?
I totally agree with you, Sarah. That's true. Um, do you know what the most memorable experience of your solo career was so far?
I would have to say it was most likely the Melissa Etheridge cruise. I
Oh,
played on the Melissa Etheridge cruise. I had like, I think 20 of my fans and friends came along on the cruise. It was right in the middle of the pandemic, and here we were on a boat with 2,000 women,
wow,
unmasked. And,
wow.
it was a party, man. It was a party.
I mean,
And
every
I
man's
think
dream.
yeah, every man's dream, but maybe not the right kind of women for them, you know? So I think the boat had 6% men
Mm.
on it. Poor guys. But yeah, but we had a fantastic time. Melissa Etheridge blew my mind. I got to see her live with her band,
Wow.
and got to share a stage with her, and
Oh,
got to
she's
see
great.
Katie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come to
Katie
My Window
Tunstall
is my
and Nancy
favorite
Wilson.
song.
Yeah. Come to my window,
Yeah.
crawl inside, wait by
Wow.
the
You ever thought of doing a cover of her
fire.
song? No, because I noticed I don't see any Melissa Etheridge in your. No, just joking.
Yeah, I do. I definitely do a cover of her coming to my window, and I do
Yeah,
what is it called? Da, 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 I don't. I can't remember, but it's another good one.
that's awesome. Wow. Now, you were mentioning about. I know that you have this kind of business where you write songs for people, but I want to ask you before we get into that. How do you choose the themes for your songs? Is it all experience? Like if you wrote a song about Pender Island or your move or your parents, or what kind of songs, what kind of themes do you explore?
And I really, really wish I could just write songs about like my move or my parents or Canada, but I tend to write from heartache. You
Yeah.
know, I write from heartache. I write from sadness when I'm not feeling well. My music has ended up being my therapy all these years of my life. I'm 46 years old now, and I can
Wow.
tell you that I'm finally at the point where I'm not really feeling the vibe to write for myself anymore. It's kind of like I have to learn a new way to write because the therapy sessions aren't as needed. I don't have that heartache and that yearning I used to have. I've grown up, and I don't have that pain as much anymore. So now I'm like, how do I write a song that's like not from heartache?
Mm-hmm.
How do I do that? How do I, that's why I started reaching out to people to get their feelings and their vibes and their themes so that I can continually write music, but I don't have to you know, relearn how to write songs from a different place yet.
Yeah, when I hear that experience and just not writing for yourself, but writing like I'm thinking of that song. I always tell people the Imagine Dragons song. Dan Reynolds wrote a song about his death of his sister-in-law, Alyssa. It's called
Mm,
Wrecked. It's a really good song.
mm,
So I always think I can approach the question by asking, the artist, what does this song mean or what did that song mean? I want to talk to you about Your Name, God, but I wanted to ask you
mhm.
before we get into that, how has your music evolved since your days with the Joys? Would you consider it to be sort of the same sort of genre, or have you really stepped out like Alanis did with creating music for herself? And
I mean, the
you know,
Joys' music was all
it's got
about,
to be Pender
uh,
Island.
you know, can you still hear me? Can you still see me?
Yeah,
Oh, there you are. Okay, sorry, you were a little frozen there. Okay, the Joys' music. We were a band, man. We drove around Canada and America for 10 years. We were tight. We were young. We were partying, and we were tight. And so the Joys' music was really a band vibe, which you can't emulate. Band vibes are amazing. They're
mm,
family. They're incredible. Now, when I branched off on my solo career, I was afraid I was going to lose that, and it would just be me all by myself, all lonely and sad.
hmm
But I ended up having a band that I worked with for another 10 years as my solo band. And those guys were just like super tight. They were like my family as well. We grew together, we toured together, super blessed to have that experience. The pandemic ruined that for me. And I found myself, kind of the band had disassembled, and I found myself feeling lonely and sad
yeah.
and by myself. And so when I got to BC, I did reach out to some friends that I had made over the years. And I do have a band here as well that I use. And I'm starting over again, rebuilding and getting my team going out here. And when I go to Ontario, I have another band I use there as well. So I am still super blessed to have that band vibe. But now, sorry, to get to your question, when I write now, I write on my own, and I sort of bring my ideas now to a producer who then produces their own idea of my songs. It's a different way of doing things, definitely. Um, it's not a band vibe, but it's a producer and a songwriter working together. So definitely different.
I take it you kind of in your voice you kind of like miss playing in the band, the Joys?
Yeah, I mean, it had its place in time. I definitely miss it. It was when I look back, it's just great memories, great memories, great times, crazy times. But life moves on, and we must move on, and we must, let go. And letting go is the hardest lesson I've ever learned in my life. I've had to let go of so many things. I've had to let go of my band and relationships and, people that have passed and my own self. I've had to let go of me and rebirth. I have a rebirth and I've had to let go of
Mm,
just so many things. And I don't know about you, but I find letting go to be the biggest challenge
it
because
is.
this part of me just wants to keep holding on.
I know. Like you sit here and you think of, I wonder what she's doing now. Or you're thinking, I wonder where that
Mm,
teacher is I used to have a friendship with, I haven't seen in 15 years. Wonder, but you don't want to do that. You want to go, so what can I do now that will change my life tomorrow? You know what I mean? I,
hmm
I'm thinking, can you share the story behind your latest single? Well, your single, Your Name, God. Like you have
hmm
lyrics like, when the day is over and the passing moments, say goodbye to the light, hello to the dark. I can't be afraid of closing my eyes. There's a greater purpose, only you know, asking for a hand, God, I need to know your plan. What, tell me why those lyrics sparked, like, how did they, why are they, that's interesting what I read there. Because it says,
Definitely.
I don't give up. Like, yeah.
Right. So yeah, I moved to this island. I left everything I knew behind, and the band had dissembled, and everything I had been working towards was just pretty much dust,
Mm,
dust in the wind. I had no vision of what I was working towards anymore. That pandemic just took it all away. And so here I was, an empty shell. The dreams had gone. I was just an empty shell with nothing inside. And I realized I need to fill my soul with something else because the music wasn't there anymore. And that's when I started to realize that I needed God again. And I needed to walk along a power that could take me, hold my hand, and bring me through the tough times. So when I said, I say hello to the dark, it's because I finally realized I wasn't doing well. And I finally just accepted I'm not doing well. I'm here. It's black, and I need help finding that light again. And this song is just a prayer saying, take me to the light, help me find myself again. Please fill me with your answers, your plan. Tell me what to do because, I'm done. I don't know what to do. And I'm so on the verge of giving up. And this song was telling me, don't give up and, reach out and your hand will be held through it all.
I know what you're talking about, Sarah. I mean, when all my dreams fade, I call out your name. Oh, so I can't give up. So I can't give up. When all my dreams fade, I call out your name. Oh God, when the day is like, wow. Say goodbye
Hmm
to the light, hello to the dark. Like, it sounds like you were battling something, but the way you talk, it's just that it's your love and just wanting to go back to God. Because when you read that, say goodbye to the light, hello to the dark, you're thinking, okay, is this like a broken relationship? You always talk about your songs have to do with a broken heart and sorrow, and that's what I thought it kind of meant. Like, but it's a total
It
opposite.
was it was a broken heart. It was sorrow. It was my broken heart for myself and my
Mm,
dreams. They were smashed in front of me.
wow.
And all this hard work, 20 years of working hard, maybe more. And it was just like I just walked away from it. It was just this massive letting go and having to just let it go and hope that there's something in the greater plan that will bring me back.
Yeah, wow. It's a powerful song. What was the experience like re-recording your breakout hit "Runaway" for your compilation album? That must have been quite
Yeah,
an
so
experience.
well, I have a new album coming out. It's not even out yet. It's called Sarah Smith Shine Bright, a
Yeah.
decade of Sarah Smith.
Hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's coming out soon, August 24th, I believe. We're going to be mailing out our vinyls and our CDs for the pre-orders. And this Runaway was recorded many years ago. 2014, I recorded Runaway with my producer Pat Anthony in Germany, And the new single, Runaway, has been all remade. It's been, re-recorded, resung, and it's the same song, just a different sound, a little thicker, more enriched
Well,
sound. I think you're all going to like it. You're going to hear the exact song that you've fallen in love with, just in a different way.
I believe that song was actually on your debut album, Stronger Now, I believe.
So Shine Bright might be the one that you're thinking about. That was on my Stronger Now, but
Okay,
The Journey was the second album I released, and Runaway was on that.
that's cool. Okay.
And Runaway has been my most streamed song on Spotify. And I think it's because it was in a few movies and people have found that song somehow. So, wow. Awesome.
That is so awesome. So awesome. Wow. No, I want to actually talk about that you have a process like for creating personalized song for someone. What's the process for that? What do you do to start? Like you talk to them and say, "What have you been through? What kind of breakups? How does it work?"
Usually it's happening right now that the universe is connecting us by people mostly reaching out to me, saying, I have this friend who's going through this, and I want to write a song for them, or I have gone through this miscarriage or whatever it might be, and I'd like to write my feelings about that. Or, hey Sarah, here's a poem that I wrote when I was 12, and I want to put that into a song and give it to my parents.
Wow.
Everybody has a personal story of why they want these songs, and I just, I just got this grant money from the government to create a website,
Wow.
like part of my website as an e-commerce site to help with my songwriting business. So how awesome is that? And I mean, it's cheap. It's cheap. You want to get a song written, it's like 200 to $250. It's so cheap. And then you have a song there for life. And I mean, I just think it's a great gift. I would definitely buy my own songwriting gift for somebody else.
Well, you have to ask about the genre that they need and what do you feel? You want a pop song? You want a sad song? Yeah. Yeah, I would figure that.
I always tell them to sort of give me a sample of what they're thinking, and most of the time people are familiar with me and my music, and they just say like, "You just do what you want, what you feel is best." And there's been times where I've come back to the client and they've said, "Well, that's not really what I'm looking for."
Mm.
And this is a real practice of letting go, and why being a songwriter is so great for that is because we can't hold on to song ideas. They're not ours to hold on to. So if somebody says, I don't really like that, I'm like, throw it out and start over,
Oh
you
no.
know? Yeah, it happens a lot.
Wow. How do you handle the creative blocks or challenges in that artistic process?
I've been very grateful. I don't know how I have survived not really going through blocks. I guess because I have a block in my own personal songwriting, I have just changed a bit and made the songwriting into other people's songs.
Mm.
So it helps me go through my own block of my personal experiences and instead reach out to help others.
Yeah. So, okay, so when you write these songs or you even sing your own songs, what's the most important message you want to convey through those songs, through your music? What's the message you want to convey?
I want what the client wants to convey. So the message is really what they're wanting to convey, and sometimes it's just from their own experiences, and I can tell from their story or their lyrics or their chat with me what they're going for. I mean, I had a person that was taking medical assisted suicide, and he contacted me that he would like a song left before he left this earth.
Oh, wow.
So I wrote a song for him,
Mm.
and he played it at his own living funeral. And I think the message of the song was that through all these times in his life, how hard his life was, in the end, those were the times where he found God.
Well, like, oh yeah, I can't imagine that. Wow, that I don't know what I would have done with that. That's terrible. What's the significance of nature and the outdoors in your life and music? Like your songs have a lot to do with the outdoors, probably.
Well, I've always sort of realized that the inner world is the only thing we can really have control over, our inner world. We can build ourselves up. work on our inner and our faith to a higher power. We can work on our own, just we can work on everything inside. But the outside world, we have no control over. When it comes to being in a peaceful outside world, though, that doesn't hinder my life. It only makes me feel more at peace and more happy.
Mm.
If I was in a war zone, it would be very hard to find that to stay grounded in inner peace. But when I'm surrounded by quiet mountains, ocean, and forest trees and sunshine, I have there's no way I can't have that inner peace. It's much easier to find it.
Yeah, I get that too. We have a little place down here called Rattray Marsh. It's been totally developed, and you just walk through the wooden boardwalks, and you see all sorts of different wildlife, and you're just sitting there and you're thinking, "Wow." And this is where you would like to be when your problems start rising in your life. You want to be somewhere where there's no phone, no light, no motor car, not a single luxury. No, just kidding. Um, you want to be somewhere where there's none of that. Um, and that's how I deal with my mental health, and it's easy to go for walks or sing or whatever. That's probably what you do too. That's using the outdoors helps you with your mental health as well.
Oh yeah, totally. It helps me breathe. It helps me be grateful and be mindful. Yeah, I try to walk every morning, walk to the ocean and back, and it just it helps put me into a better frame of mind for sure. I
Yeah,
find that exercise, nature, and quiet are three things that really help me in my mental health. And the opposite, connectedness, is the other thing. So connecting with humans is also a huge thing for me.
yeah. That's why I can't understand why when people say, "Well, what do you do to relax?" And I say, "I listen to music." Oh yeah, like the soft music? No, like heavy metal music and stuff. Like really? I don't even want to listen to anything more than just piano music when I'm feeling that, like I'm that type of person. I don't want to hear, even when it's soft, like elevator music in my ear, even if it's Billy Joel, it'll be like Honesty or one of those other songs. Like I just, like,
Mm.
it's sort of, a lot of this music is like tinnitus to me, and I don't want to hear it. But other times I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what was the person going through when they were writing this music? Um, but so, do you think the music industry has changed since you started, and how have you adapted to it?
Um, I'm not sure I've adapted at all. I don't really know if I'm even in the music industry. I just kind of have just kind of gone with what makes me happy and try my best to follow a little bit of financial stability as well. So I find that playing shows and making new fans along the way has been sort of my guideline, and it's kept me working in music for 26 years full
Wow.
time. And so I just feel like I've just sort of been going with what my heart tells me to do next. And I've been taken care of. I've never had a day without a roof over my head or a bed to sleep in or food in my belly.
Hmm.
Never. I've just always been taken care of. The number one thing I tell people when they're deciding to go for a life of being creative is I say, you know, if you choose creativity, if you choose this life and you take the big risk and you decide to do what your heart's passion is, you will always be taken care of because you're telling the universe that you are trusting it.
Hmm. That's interesting. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am a Christian, and I believe that Jesus Christ is the way to God. But to digress, I watch a lot of the. I don't know if you're familiar with the Darman series, and it's sort of like the more you put kindness out in the world, the more it's returned to you. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying I want to get anything back from that. All I know
Mm-hmm.
is that today I've an 8 year old, his their soccer ball went across the road and they almost got killed. So I was there at the right moment to get that ball off the road for them. And I thought, how coincidental can it be that I just suddenly left the coffee shop after what, 23 minutes, decided to walk down, and just then a little kid is kicking a soccer ball across the road. So,
Mm.
and write a song about that.
Whoa. Wow,
Yeah.
that is amazing. Yeah, the coincidences of life, right? I've heard there are no
Yeah.
coincidences. That's just the beautiful patterns that life offers us.
Yeah. Do you have like a favorite like do you have a favorite part of performing live?
My favorite part of performing live is just being an open vessel, man. I just love being that person that's up there, that's allowing, the musical force to work through me. I love that feeling that music is flowing through me, and I somehow am giving that out to people, and they're giving it back to me with their smiles and their energy. I mean, it's just a symbiotic relationship, right? I love it.
Okay, I haven't asked this question in a long time. I kind of avoid it. I always ask the mental health one, but this one is, I'll ask you this finally after what, so many like 10 artists, and I'm asking you now. Have you ever thought of just giving it up because of just don't want to do it anymore, just too much?
Yep, I have. This past November, I had just gotten off the road after the post pandemic boom. All the musicians, all of a sudden, we got our jobs back. We were playing music like crazy. We were just overworked and overrun, and everybody wanted music again. And I was go, 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 go. And then in November, I crashed. I started playing shows, being like, going through the motions. I wasn't feeling anything anymore. I was thinking, why am I depressed? I have the life I dreamed of.
Hmm.
There's nothing at all bad going on in my life. Why am I not feeling happy? And I was numb, and I was just sad.
Hmm.
And so I thought to myself, I think I'm done, because I always told myself that if I'm not happy, I'm going to
Wow.
quit.
Wow.
And so I said to my partner, I said, like, I think I'm done. I'm gonna quit music. And she said, absolutely not. You're going to take a break. So I took my first break of my career. I really did. Even through the pandemic, I worked hard, on online shows and songwriting. So I finally took my first break this past winter. I took 4 months off. Um, I did some songwriting and stuff, but mostly I just hung at home and took care of the house and my family, and grew some roots, and did things like dishes and you know normal things, vacuuming and stuff, and just like stayed at home for 4 months. It's like the longest I've ever stayed at home. And after the 4 months was up, I was feeling so happy and ready to get back into playing music again. So thank God I took that time off, and thank God, it wasn't time for me to quit just yet.
Yeah, recharge, right? I know that the pandemic
Mhm.
affected a lot of opera singers and they could no longer perform. So they did a lot of, like did a lot of online concerts and some charged.
Mhm.
I don't know how they were able to charge on Facebook a concert, but they managed to do that. And then, especially in like a mezzo soprano that I know named, actually, no, she's a color returo soprano. They're the ones that go, ah, 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 ah. Nadia Ide, sort of like Nadia Ide. She's a well-known coloratura soprano from UK, and in the middle of 2021, all her concerts and stuff started coming out. Now they started coming to her, and I said, "Now you can go out and sing," and that's great. How do you ensure that each of your performances is unique and memorable?
I don't go out thinking about that at all. I just kind of go with what the audience vibe is. The bands I work with, they always want set lists. I hate set lists. I
Oh,
think
wow.
that it's illegal. I think it's illegal because you should be able to play for the crowd. You should be able to play what the crowd wants, and every crowd is different. The vibe is different in every single
Interesting.
unique situation. So when
Yeah.
I go and play solo, I just play off the cuff, and I talk to the audience, and I figure out what the vibe is, and we go from there. With the band, the way I give my best performance is whatever song is speaking to me, or whatever words are speaking to me, I live those words. I'm this is all I know how to do, is I just sing from my heart and from my soul, and I give the people, everything I can. And some songs hit me differently on different nights. So, I just feel like, you know I'm giving my all every single night. And even if I'm tired or exhausted, I'm still giving every ounce of what I can to everybody.
So you take requests, and we can say, "Hey, Sarah, can you play Runaway?" or stuff, and people are singing that song. Do you go like
Yeah.
do you go like this and then go, "What's the next
Yeah.
like that?" Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Totally.
That's
And if I'm really tired, I do this a lot. Sing for me.
sing.
Save me. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. I know you talk about writing songs for people. You ever thought in mind, that song that I wrote for whatever Richard or Joe Smith or whatever his name is, wouldn't make up a name. Um, that song I wrote for Oscar Williamson, really good song. I like to sing that one. You're not allowed to, eh?
Oh no, I can.
You
No,
have to get
we def
permission.
I always give the collaborator 50% and I take 50% and we
Oh,
can do whatever we want with the songs. And we talk about that beforehand. Some people say, this is a private song. I don't really want it played. And most people just would love their song to be played.
wow, wow.
Hmm.
My cat went off. So, yeah. So how do you stay connected with your fans, especially during times when touring isn't possible? Like for instance, during the pandemic, what made you connect with them? You couldn't go out and perform.
I guess just social media connected us all. And, as much as we all hate social media, it's definitely a way to connect. And these podcasts, Chris, are an awesome idea because we get to know each other a little bit more. And thanks for giving us a platform to get our music heard and get people to know us a little more on a personal level. I think your questions have been awesome.
I love it because during the pandemic, I took in, everyone's going to know, okay, not this again. Anyway, I'm going to say it again because you don't know about it. So I took an effective communications course in the middle of 2021. And I'm like, when are you going to use that?
Well,
You have to be 6 feet away from people. You can't be in the same room with more than. So I started a podcast on October 11, 2021. So this October will be 3 years, over 200,
wow.
200 episodes. I've spoken to more than 200 people, and it helps me with my confidence, being able to talk to people. Now, when I talk to people in conversation, I use the same sort of questions to people, and they're like, "Wow, that podcast has really changed you," you know. So, and you know
That's
people,
great.
and I've met a lot of celebrities, a lot of musicians. I love it. I love it. I got a chance to
Awesome.
meet you and everything. I love it. Yeah,
I mean, if we can't connect in person, we have to connect in other ways. And this is such a great way to connect. So
yeah,
let's do a high five.
yeah,
High five. Yeah.
yeah. Now sing,
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah, I got a couple more questions for you because I know you have to go, but everyone. I don't know when I'm actually going to be able to post this one, but I know that on August 7th, you'll be doing a live stream, 262 Women's Summit Series, right? Which is today.
Yeah, that was today.
That was today, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
August 22nd is McBurney Plaza Summer Series in Langley.
Yeah.
On Saturday 24th is Good for the Soul Music Festival. So what I'm going to do, everyone, is I'm going to post these in the description, and then when I post this, you can check out everything because she's going to actually be playing till September 18th at the Grand Cafe Zuidlaren in Zuidlaren, Netherlands, because I'm Dutch, so I had to use that one.
Nice.
I'm half
Nice.
Dutch. But
Sweet.
yes. So why don't you tell us what's the next big goal for your music career?
I guess the next big goal is that I want to get this best of Shine Bright, a decade of Sarah Smith. I want to get that out. I want people to be able to enjoy that. It'll be my first vinyl experience. I want to tour Europe and get the vinyl and the CDs to them as well. I guess my next goal after that is to release my new album that I signed a record deal and I'm going to be releasing a new album with this record label. And I'm really excited for people to hear this fully produced, beautiful sounding album.
Yeah, I want to order one of your CDs, a signed and autographed CDs, and I want to make sure that
Awesome.
people I need that link so that people can, hear your music and order that as well because I think it's pretty cool because you're going to have it on vinyl, which is very rare. Because
Hmm.
Andrea Bocelli just released a 50th anniversary of all his hits on a gold vinyl album, believe it or not.
Wow.
That's coming up in
Cool.
November. So, 30th anniversary. So you can pick that up. But I don't know if he's going to autograph it. Could you imagine if he did autograph that? Wow, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
So someone comes up to you and said, Sarah, I like you standing up there going up like this with the microphone, and I want to be like you one day. What advice would you give to aspiring Sarah Smiths out there, musicians? What would you tell them?
Well, first of all, I would say there's only one you, so just be you. And we talk about this a lot in the music world. What does that mean? Just be me. What it means is listen to your heart and just do what your heart tells you to do. And don't let anybody tell you that what your heart is telling you is wrong.
Oh, I thought you were going to give me the advice, and another artist says, don't. That's what he said. He said,
No,
don't. But he was joking, of course.
no. Being a musician was the biggest gift of my
Yeah.
life, and I recommend if you have aspirations to be a musician, I'm going to tell you, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Just do it.
They have to start somewhere. Like they have to take vocal lessons like you, and you have to tell them that their voice is probably going to give out at some point, but don't give up, because just because you can't sing today doesn't mean you're not going to be a big opera singer tomorrow or something. You just have to, don't give up. Too many people
Yeah,
give up
just
out
keep
there.
going.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
it's
on Facebook.
true.
This musician that just wrote on Facebook that she can't do it anymore. She's giving up. She spent too much money. I'm not making any money, this and that. So she just decided to give it all up. She put down her guitar, and I'm like, wow, really?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Everyone, Sarah's debut compilation album, Shine Bright, A Decade of Sarah Smith, 2012-2021, I think is out now. Is it?
It's coming out in
Yeah.
August for sure.
This is a curated collection of Sarah's favorite tracks, spanning from the 2012 release Stronger Now to her latest thought-provoking single, Your Name God. This compilation also features an exclusive 2024 re-recording of breakout hit, Runaway. So immerse yourself in Sarah's remarkable journey of growth and transformation. Be sure to pre-order your copy today. Everything will be linked down below. Any final words, Sarah?
My final words are just I'm gracious and thank you so much. And I hope that everybody has a fantastic month and week and day and minute today.
Wait right there, Sarah, because I have to say, because our time comes to a close, we'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to Sarah Smith, everyone, for sharing her journey and her music with us. Sarah's story is a testament to the power of transformation and the enduring spirit of creativity. Her music not only entertains but also inspires. It all inspired me, and we are all the richer for it. And to our audience out there, we hope you've enjoyed this intimate glimpse into the life of one of Canada's most passionate and dedicated artists. Keep following Sarah for more soul-stirring music and continue to support the art that moves you. Sarah, this has been a enlightening conversation. We look forward to the melodies and stories you share with us in the future. So everyone, just keep your hearts open and your playlists adventurous. Thank you, Sarah, so much for this opportunity to interview you. Uh,
Thank you.
you're very welcome. And
Thank you so much.
When the day is over and the passing moments say goodbye to the light, hello to the dark. I can't be afraid of closing my eyes. There's a greater purpose, only you know. I when the day is over.